Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? This is Pip Surfer once again with another daily update for the Cowabunga system. Today is Thursday, August 28th, 2008. Excuse me, a lot of 8s there, but it was a great day in the cable markets. We had a lot of movement, a lot of volatility, and we were able to get in the market finally after waiting quite some time due to the system keeping us out. But we did get a trade in today, and it was pretty good one, so I'm just going to jump right into it. But first I'd like to go ahead and look back at a couple of the comments from yesterday. So let me just jump into my blog real quick. Whoops, hit my stone, and here we go. Alright, we had a couple comments. Appreciate you, Conan, for giving me the update for the 2 weeks. And ST Carry once again. There's another question you have. When looking at the 4-hour chart, does the RSI and stochastics need to be trending in the same direction to confirm the trend? The answer is no. The only time the RSI and stochastics have to be lined up is when if you're looking at a potential trend change candle. So for example, if I come here, I see I have a crossover to the short side, which is a potential trend change candle. So now I want to look to my RSI and stochastics and make sure they line up. And in this case they did, so this makes it a good trend change candle, a valid one. So, but as far as the rest of this, once we're in a downtrend, then it doesn't really matter what the indicators are doing, as long as the trend change candle and the indicators lined up. So that'll bring us right in today's trend. We'll look right here. This is what the chart looked like before I traded. Like I just said earlier, here's the most recent trend change candle back on August 22nd, and up until last night it was still down. And if you look at the action for today, price continued to stay down and our trend remained down. So we were only looking for short trades today once again, which always makes it easier. You don't have to keep shuffling back and forth, so that makes it okay. And now we're going to go right down to our 15-minute chart, and I'm going to move it back to just before midnight. Before I traded. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do before we even start looking for trades is open up our calendar, and we're going to see that at 2 a.m. we had the sterling, the nationwide HPI, which is usually a big deal, and then we had the US GDP preliminaries at 8:30 a.m. So those were the two major news events, 2 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's as simple as that. You just want to watch out for those time areas, but other than those two time periods, we're pretty much open to trade, and now we're ready to go. And so we just move the candle. I'm just going to move this chart one candle at a time, and it is 15 minutes each, and here we continue to move on. And right now it's about 1:30. Remember, we have news at 2 a.m. Eastern Time. So at this point, if I see a signal, I'm not going to enter because I know that news is coming out. And you can see that right at the very next candle, we did get a crossover for a short trade. All the indicators lined up, but it was so close to the news event that I did not enter. So that's why you want to pay attention to when news times come out, because you don't want to be caught in a false trade. And you can see that in this case, price didn't really go in our favor. So that would have, this saved us. This news rule saved us from, entering a bad trade. Okay, here we have, it's 3:30. Another crossover for a short trade. RSI is below 50. Stochastics trending down. But if you look at the candle before, MACD was already negative. So this cancels out the signal. Remember, MACD has to be positive and either losing value or positive and moving to negative. In this case, the MACD was already negative and it canceled out the signal. So no entry here. Okay, we continue to move forward. Price continues to wobble around. Here we get another nice crossover. This is at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. RSI is below 50. Stochastics trending down. But once again, it's the same deal. MACD was already negative from the candle before, so this cancels out the signal and we don't enter. So we had 3 possible trades here, but all of them were invalid because of one reason or another. But this is why we follow the rules, and you can see that it's paid off in this case because movement, has been really choppy here. Okay, so we continue to move the chart forward. It's about 8 o'clock now, so I know news is coming out at 8:30. So from this point on, I'm not going to take any signals, even if it is valid. Alright, so here we have the 8:30 candle. It's a crossover. RSI is below 50, stochastics trending down, and MACD actually goes from positive to negative, but because it's a news candle, we don't want to make our trades based on those price actions, because sometimes news can just be whipsaws and not really give us a true movement of the pair. So no entry here because it's a news candle. So this makes it the fourth trade that we have skipped because of our rules. So if you're like me, who's been waiting to get in the market, and you get these 4 fake signals, you're getting pretty antsy by now, but you got to stick to the rules and stick to the system. Okay, so we're going to keep moving forward here. Okay, and here we get another crossover at 10 a.m. to the short side. Now this time RSI is below 50, stochastics trending down, and MACD goes from positive to negative, and there is no news around this time, so this is actually a valid entry. So what we're going to do is enter to the close, as close to the close of this candle as possible, which in this case is 83.38. Our stop is going to be at the most recent swing high, which is right here at 83.83, and actually I would move it up here, just because I like good swing highs or lows that have 2 consecutive, like in this case swing high because there's 2 consecutive lows here. In this case we don't have that, so it's not as pretty. So 83.93 is the stop, and the entry is at 83.38, so the closest 0 or 50 level is right here at 8300, and that's 38 pips of potential profit, which makes it pretty good to go for as an initial target. So now our trade's in place, and we can just simply move forward, and you can see that our target was hit here at 10:30. It actually closed at 82.88, excuse me. So that's a clean break of my target. So at this point, I'm going to move my stop to 8300 and go for 8250. Now at this point, if you're trading multiple lots, you can close half your position here, whatever you want to do, but this gives you some flexibility. If you wanted to just take your trade, depending on your kind of trading personality, and you want to just take your profits, then that's perfectly okay too. So we keep moving forward, and you can see that we actually get stopped out at our initial target at 8300. So several different ways you can play it there. So you have plenty of options. Remember, everybody's different, so exit strategies can vary. And if you just continue to go forward, you can see price did retrace up a little, but it actually did end up going to 8250. So this was a really good trade, really easy trade. You just had to be patient and filter out all the bad ones. So this was a really good example of being patient and following the rules. And I hope you guys caught the same things I did. And remember, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And I will see you all at the next update. Later, guys.